right, so here we are, Reon.
Indeed.
It's been a while. We've been trying to get to this for 3 months. I don't know.
If not longer.
Yeah.
Finally made it.
So I think I jammed out on the first one. I got COVID. Then you broke your leg,
Yes.
which you're now rehabbing.
Yes.
And then there was some other things going on, and we couldn't do it. But hey, here we are. So
Life happens.
And as your top says there, Sharp Home Inspections. So it's Reon Sharp. You're with Sharp Home Inspections. It's your business.
That's right.
So we're going to get into that a little bit. There's lots of topics here, but what I thought we would do is, we need to know who you are a little bit. Who are you? How long you been doing this? Just give us just a brief little bio.
Fair enough. So originally I'm from New Zealand.
Okay.
Moved over to Canada about 28 years ago.
Okay.
My background is 30 years in the building industry.
Yeah.
And a former project manager. This home inspection business just seemed so right. It just seemed to fit for me. And I've been at it a couple of years now, and
sounds like it.
I absolutely love it. It's great.
Yeah. So you have tons of experience, obviously, 30 years, and you kind of morphed into this now. You're running your own show, and
that's right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, you're gonna have lots of information for us. Mm-hmm. So, I think how we'll do this, we have 5 or 6 topics here, and we'll just get into the first one, and then we can layer in some of the other ones, and maybe in separate videos. So, all right. So we're gonna talk about a few things, but I thought we'd start out with one that we all, I was going to say know and love, but not necessarily. We don't love that, humidity in your home.
That's right.
Because that can be a real problem.
It can be a huge problem.
So can you talk about a few of those things that we would want to pay attention to as far as humidity? Yeah,
sure. So humidity levels in your home, they are controlled by your humidistat.
Yeah.
What that does is that changes the humidity levels on a percentage.
Right.
So that is a relative humidity from outside.
Okay.
So typically, the general rule is the colder it is outside, the lower your settings want to be on your humidistat.
Okay.
And there's a big misconception where, it's cold, it's dry, I should be turning my humidistat up.
Right.
Which is the exact opposite of what you want to do.
Yeah, and it's funny when you said that, it made me think of, we just went through a cold spell not too long ago, although it's been very nice.
Yeah.
But you get a little bit of that ice buildup on the inside of the windows.
That's right. So I tell all of my clients, I advise them, to use the windows as a gauge, if you will. Every humidifier, every humidistat performs differently.
Okay.
And they are going to have different adjustments for different homes. So a great gauge is when it's getting cold outside.
Yeah.
Have a look at your windows. If you see condensation forming, turn your humidistat down 5 to 10%. If it continues, continue to turn it down. An excellent example is my own home. And again, every home is different.
Yeah.
But I know when the outside temperatures reach minus 20,
okay,
I'm going to get ice forming on my windows, and I turn my humidifier off.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of that here.
Yeah.
That's sort of our own experience. And is there any scenario where you maybe could maintain a little bit of that humidity? Because we all like that.
Absolutely.
We're not running around zapping our fingers and touching stuff because it's so dry. But
absolutely.
Is there a situation where you could keep the humidity a little higher and not get that buildup? Like, is that structural, like a construction type of?
So the setting is, unfortunately, it's ongoing.
Right.
As our temperatures fluctuate outside, so should your humidistat levels. The concern, of course, like you're suggesting, is it can get too dry, and you might find that if you have hardwood floors, they can shrink, they can start to crack.
Okay.
If you hear that cracking when you're walking on the floors, you may want to turn it up a little bit. So.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting because I do find that a little bit, and like sometimes one thing could lead to another issue.
That's right.
And we're all sort of looking for that perfect climate controlled situation.
And that's exactly it. It's an ongoing climate control is exactly what it is.
Right.
So, if we can talk a little bit about the extreme circumstances, I've seen homes that their humidistat levels are way higher than what they should be.
Okay.
Ice was forming on the windows.
Right.
To the point where when that melts, and it will melt,
Yeah.
that has to go somewhere.
Right.
Some of it evaporates, but some of it, of course, can go inside your wall assembly.
Right.
And then you're looking at water damage, potential microbial growth,
bigger
mold.
issues then.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a very important part of your home upkeep.
So we can't simply just say, well, set it at X percentage. We need to be vigilant and monitor what's going on.
It's a constant monitoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Perfect.
What's needed. So
right.
you have to be vigilant.
Yeah, we've got to do a little bit of our own homework and upkeep. So
that's right.
Perfect. Okay.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's close it off there for the humidity. I think in the next video we're going to talk a little bit more about attic rain, and that one's a very interesting one because again, I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like too many people know about it.
That's right.
But it could be a real issue as well.
That's right.
Okay. So we'll talk about that one on the next one.
Wonderful.